Yes. And verse 17, Ananias went his way and entered into the house, and putting his hands on him, said, Brother Saul, the Lord, even Jesus, that appeared unto thee in the way, as thou camest, hath sent me, that thou mightest receive thy sight and be filled with the Holy Ghost. And immediately there fell from his eyes as it had been scales, that he received sight forthwith, and arose and was baptized. And when he had received meat, he was strengthened. Then was Saul certain days with the disciples which were at Damascus. And straightway he preached Christ in the synagogues, that he is the Son of God. Now this Saul, yes, later on in the book of Acts, his name was changed. Yeah, he was called Paul, and I'm just looking for that. Yes, yes. Now, there seems to be this problem with the idea of enforcing the laws of the United States because of your want to cover up your way. It could be that your dogs need to look at the sun until they're blinded. Yes. So that we could see, yes, what you've been seeing. Now, I have informed law enforcement that my rights are being violated. Yes. And you decided that I had to motion a court that did not give me actual notice of court hearings. Didn't give me any of the actual documentation of the dissolution of marriage. Yeah. And then you decided that you would give my sons to my wife, where they're in the wrong grades because they're being abused and trafficked. Now, this concept of being holy and a father, why don't you face the sun as soon as it's up and stare at it until you're blinded? Because your way, yes, blinds the minds of those that should be enforcing the laws. Now, I'm sure that most people realize that eventually the blindness goes away. Yes. But for those that are in the family, it might not. Now, it's, uh-oh, what's different about your eyesight once you're in the way? Yes. Versus those that are not in the way. Now, I'm just looking here. Yes. Paul's sermon on Mars Hill. Yes. I know that it went from Saul to Paul at some point. Yes. Did you want to enforce the laws today? Now I'm going to want my sons, and I'm going to want you to remove your fraud. And this excuse that the court isn't open, well, I think it is. You know, wanting to be holy is not necessarily a negative. Yeah. When you really try to please God, and sheriffs and police officers decide, well, we don't have to enforce the law because we're in the way. We're in that top secret way where we're just going to cover up all of our crimes and no one will find out about them. We're going to say the man is incompetent because he won't be in the way. Yes. I won't come around, and I don't want your poison in my food. I don't want you to know what I'm thinking. See, there's a problem with this concept of technology knowing, let's say, that you did not want the police department or the sheriffs or judges to know what you were praying. When I was on Guam, it was asked of me, well, what do you want? Well, I like a prayer closet. Yes. A place where I can go and pray where only God knows what I'm wanting. Now, this privacy issue, it does violate my freedom of religion. You had to put your clone on me? Ooh, ooh. You had to know what I was doing? Now, let's see here. Minister fasted out, separate bones, so on and so forth. Sergius Paulus, a prudent man who called for Barnabas. Now, there was Elymas, yes, Acts 13:8, was a sorcerer, for so is his name by interpretation, withstood them, seeking to turn away the deputy from the faith. And Saul, who also is called Paul, filled with the Holy Ghost, set his eyes on him, and said, O full of subtlety and all mischief, thou child of the devil, thou enemy of all righteousness, wilt thou not cease to pervert the right ways of the Lord? And now, behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thee, that thou shalt be blind, not seeing the sun for a season. And immediately there fell on him a mist and a darkness, and he went about seeking some to lead him by the hand. Then the deputy, when he saw what was done, believed, being astonished at the doctrine of the Lord. Yeah. Now, Saul, yes, that was also called Paul. Now, when Paul and his company, yes, loose from Paphos, they came to Perga in Pipha, and John, departing from them, returned to Jerusalem. Now, a lot of people would say, well, that's kind of mean that that same individual that was blinded by Jesus, yes, decided to blind the sorcerer Elymas, for so is his name by interpretation. Now, there are those in the police department that say, well, do you have the same ability as Paul in the Bible? Let's say I didn't have that, but I had the availability of taking your dog outside when the sun was high, in the sky, and using a technology that opened the eyelids so they... Now, the Paul in the Bible did have certain abilities that I don't have, and I recognize that. But I have the availability of technology to blind the eyes. I cannot do what Paul did in the Bible, as much as I've had to admit that to myself. Yes. But I can kind of open the eyelids, and I can make you look at the sun until you're blinded for a season. Now, for every idiot right now, it's 2019. I have the availability of technology. Yes. Now, for the deputy fish that doubts everything that I say,